Good morning, guys. We have been making lots of changes to the race car, to Sally, in the last week or two. Not a lot, just trying to fix. Been having some hydraulic lifter problems. I've had several people at Chris Boyette tell me that I'm the problem, and he's really right. I mean, lo and behold, I could have fixed the problem. I think because there's plenty of guys hydraulic. There's not plenty of guys. There's some guys going to 9,000 and above with hydraulic lifters. I'm not interested in figuring that out right now. We've got World Cup now we're leaving in a week and a day next Sunday. So right now she has to be in the trailer. Everything's loaded, ready to go to Cup, right? So no time for that. Got a hold of the guys at Wilkes. You guys saw the unbox of the Wilkes rocker arms. They were great. Backpedaling some. It'd be really cool if they let you know that even aftermarket valve covers aren't going to fit. We had aftermarket valve covers on the car. I had these guys right here. This guy right here, I have no idea what this is. It might be a Holly, it might be a something. All I know is that I've been using them from day one. I put a set of motions on there and found out that I had to take the baffle out to run the solids originally on the 427. So basically, I put these back on because I made a little baffle for the inside because we were moving too much oil, basically. Without the baffles and the motions, we were moving too much oil. They did not have the solid, like the extra clearance ones out yet, so I was stuck. So we ordered these, and I love them. I put them on the car. I looked at them, and I was like, oh, those look like they're kind of a funny angle. I hope the valve covers work. I'm sure they will. He didn't mention anything, right? He didn't mention anything. So these valve covers are what was on the car. Now, usually the height this way is the problem, right? Like the height here is why the rockers hit. And so that's pretty easy to remedy most of the time. Well, now these sit so far that way because they got the big bolts and the big bodies. They hit up here. And so I put these on. I put the rockers on yesterday morning. I found this out at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the day. Because I'm still working on customer stuff. I'm like back and forth. Customer Sally. Car on the dyno, troubleshooting. Engine in the back room. Making circles all the time, right? Ended up not filming anything yesterday because we were so busy. I think Josh filmed some stuff in the car on his way somewhere. We'll talk about that. So basically, the valve covers wouldn't fit. My brain goes, oh crap, I really wanted to have the car on the dyno this weekend. I want to make sure we don't need anything come Monday. That way we can get it quickly. You never know, especially this time of year. Everything's always a rush. Let myself get a little too stressed out because I am trying to balance the race car, getting everything done and being safe for Cup, and just being ready. And then on top of that, all the customer crap we have, all the messages, all the support, all that stuff. So these don't fit. My dude Josh here calls Wilkes. They say, hey, the BTRs fit. So BTR's in Kentucky. It's about 3.5 hours from here. So I'm like, we can't make it there in time. Post on Facebook, hey guys, who can go to BTR for me and pick these up and meet Josh later? So thankfully enough, a couple guys volunteered. Chris Simpson ended up going. He picked it up. He did leave Josh sitting in a parking lot for 2 hours. So it's still really appreciated. But I was a little confused. I didn't understand. Apparently these kids had trick or treat, which is totally understandable. Whatever. Still appreciate it a lot, Chris. You're the man. So we got the valve covers. Josh got in late last night, dropped them off. We wanted to do a video on them because honestly, number one, I did not know that they made them in no logo, which, not that I have any problem with any specific logo. It's just really cool to have, like if I could have a Plasma Man intake, not that I have anything against Plasma Man, I would like to have it without a logo because I think it looks cool. But they make those, right? They didn't have black in stock, which is fine because we like to powder coat it ourselves. So they had silver, no logos. Not only that, I had reached out to a couple of guys at BTR, like, hey, could you guys hide these things in the bushes for us? And they're busy. Kyle Stratton got a hold of some guys for me. They were going to just leave them out. By then, I already had somebody en route. Later in the evening, and I'm assuming he's the busiest guy there. Brian Tooley himself reached out to me to take care of it, which is super freaking cool to have the man himself reach out. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, because that kind of support, that's what race cars are about. That's the same with Doug at Motion and Dalton at Motion. Like all the guys I have to actually deal with. I mean, these are the companies, BTR, Motion. This is companies you want to give your money to. Not only because the products are good and great sometimes, but they are innovating for us to have better parts. And that's kind of what I wanted to get at is, BTR makes these valve covers for their shaft rockers, I assume, and that's why these are able to be made big and strong and with these big bolts on the ends of them, and that's pretty sweet. So we're going to go take them out of the box. I've already seen them, but I'm so excited that I can unbox them a second time and be so excited again. And part of the reason for this, let me be real, like the psychological side of this is, these are pretty rockers, right? And nobody's ever going to see them. And so I get to cover them with this old, disgusting thing. Now I get to put something new on the car. And that's super cool to me. It's just how our brains are wired, I guess. It's probably a lot comparable to the change that is is spoken about in the Bible. You start following Jesus and then you get baptized, and that's an outer sign of an inner change. These and I don't mean to trivialize baptism by calling it valve covers, but it's really neat how the human mind works. It's an outer side of an inner change. So I don't know. That was kind of a random thought, but it is how our brains work, and it's super cool that I get to throw these cool valve covers on the car, even though they're super basic and not powder coated yet, but they're going to be sweet. Anyway, let's go unbox those.
Okay.
All right, guys, we are in our terribly disgusting, messy office because we've been doing so much more sales than we had been for a while, and the support and having somebody that can, a customer message, and they're like, hey, I need this part today. I need to go out today and be here tomorrow, and I've got a guy that can actually rush stuff to FedEx and UPS and make stuff happen. Josh is always in here editing, and I'm coming in here and throwing parts at him on the table, and it's just absolutely a mess in here. But we do stock, just so everybody knows, we stock vibrant fittings and everything. Like, if it's a legitimate part that comes from, sometimes it comes from China here, it gets rebadged and sold. But like Turbo Smarts and Haltex and Fuel Tex and Manly and AEM and Vibrant, and we're actually going to do a direct deal with Vibrant yet next year. They're going to sponsor Sally, and we're gonna work that out later. But we're going to be able to hook you guys up on that stuff even better. Anyway, so here are the BTR valve covers. We got a really cool box. One day I'm going to have a box with my name on it, like Brian Tooley does. So anyway, to open said box, we have a very pretty valve cover. It is just a raw silver. I don't think that's coated, but it might be. I don't really care. I like to take it out. I enjoy how deep that the grommet holes are, because on the other ones, I was always seeping just a little bit of oil out. I love that it has a front to back. Those are 12A and ORB. I dig that. It does, because I didn't know this when I ordered the extra fittings, it does come with plugs for the side you decide not to use, or if you decide not to use any of them, which would be a really bad idea, because we want positive pressure in our intake manifold, not our crankcase. But anyway, it comes with little baffles that appear to snap in, and we're going to put these on the car later in this video, but for now, just on the initial unboxing, I am a fan. On top of the silver, I can't even scratch them right. It's fine. This is how we treat our performance products here that are for my own car. So anyway, I also got their oil fill kit because it was like $5, and that's pretty cool. So I have that. These, as I was telling Josh, dude, so number one, I didn't want the 12 points because it's such a pain to make sure I have a 12-point socket that fits stuff. So these are ARP LS valve cover bolts, and the important thing about having these is that when you're in a hurry and you're using power tools, the cheap chrome bolts, the longer the bolt is, the easier it is to break, and having these is awesome, because I would say these probably torque to 15, 20, 25 foot-pounds, and so I have one specific impact, little red snap-on that won't go that far. So it's perfect. It goes to like 20, 22 tops. So it's perfect. I have to hammer it for that. So like I can be in a hurry and all the way across that thing. And sometimes when you're trying to fix things between rounds, that's a really good thing to have. So I got some of those. I got grommets. I got these handy dandy gaskets you have to have, or oil goes everywhere, because for some reason on a factory GM LS1 valve cover, they decided the bolts should be in the middle instead of the perimeter. I have no idea why somebody would do that. That seems really stupid. But that's a Chevrolet / GM problem. Grommets, a couple of 12 ORB to 16 adapters for the ends. And that's it. That's what's in the box. That's what we got. And I dig it. And we're going to go put these guys on. We're going to check fitment real quick before we take anything out of the bags. And then we'll come back, put everything together, and put them on the car permanently. So. Oh, nice. I got you. I see. Fill cap. That's cool. Did not realize it had that either. I assumed it was just a plug you had to take out. We'll fill it from the other side. So we fill it from this side. We fill it from the back. I can leave the funnel on the firewall. Makes it much easier. Don't quite. I'm mildly retarded, so I don't quite understand the baffle. I don't know if those things are supposed to be tapped, but they're not. So I don't quite get that either, but I'll install those and see how well they fit. Whatever. Just gotta figure out the baffles. It is pretty neat. Hopefully they're clear. That'd be really nice. Let air out, but not oil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't got a weld or anything. I can easily weld right there too. I guess that wouldn't be too big of a deal. This is that side. Trying to make sure we're running our catch can no matter what from the front. Make life a lot nicer. I can't fill from the side we do now because I'm going to use that for our catch can line. That. Oh yeah. Legs still sore from yesterday's workout. I did work out this morning actually, but it was like a recovery, like walk 45 minutes and did 100 push-ups and 100 squats. So basically not a workout at all. For me. It's normal. I usually beat myself up every day. I don't want anybody to think ill of me. Oh, okay. That's cool. Look at that. Somebody can tap stuff right. I've had people, I've spent 7,000 plus on blocks before and the holes aren't even tapped right. Bullet stuff is all that way. I can't bother running the tap all the way in. I asked him about that at World Cup a few years ago and the guy was like, we're going to sell them anyway, we don't care. Literally his exact words. A couple of other big names were standing there, and they would never admit that because they have too much skin in the game. You know who doesn't have skin? I have skin. Not. They just don't care. Cool. I like it. See how it works out. Let's see how these grommets work because I'm completely ignorant. I guess I've never installed a set of LS valve covers except for the ones I already have. So. It's neat.
I don't know how those work.
I don't know. I'm sure there's pictures online somewhere.
You put the bolt through it, and it
I
stays
know
to the
that.
bolt.
It's like a D series. I'm not retarded.
No, it stays to the bolt.
Well, it goes like that, and then these have washers. It's not, not that difficult to understand. Like that.
Oh, that might actually snap.
Yeah,
in.
see? You're the retarded one, not me. I mean, I'm retarded too. I just say retarded because every time I say it, a customer smiles. Or unfollows, one or the other. But yeah, it's got washers that slide in. This just keeps oil from seeping out like it has been for a while on those cheap valve covers. I didn't even know this was a thing. That's pretty cool. Sure glad I bought them because I didn't know if I should. I didn't know how that works. I didn't know if I needed to. I didn't know what I had. I don't even know why they make this an option. I mean, why wouldn't you buy valve cover grommets? Shoot, Brian, just include them in the valve covers and make people get them. That way nobody can be like, oh, Brian didn't tell me. That's how it is. It's not Brian's business. It's Brian Tooley didn't tell me that I needed these. I would have never known because I'm semi-retarded, like I said.
I want to say the stock ones have those built on.
Nah, I think they're in the bolts.
Oh, yeah, that's
deep.
onto the bolts.
They might be. I don't know.
But,
I graduated from the stock LS stuff. I never did it.
yeah,
I went straight to race
hard
cars.
mode.
Yeah, I went straight to race cars. Straight to race cars. My first LS was a 427 solid roller motor, so, and then I had to go hydraulic because I'm stupid, and then I went back to solid. So yeah, tell me how that makes any sense.
Speaking of stock stuff, did you see Kabezi?
What do you mean?
Broke his record again.
When?
Posted yesterday.
Really? I'll have to look at that. I didn't see it. I've been in the shop and not on my phone that much. More than answering customer stuff. That's nice. I like those. It's just some nice pieces, actually. I mean, I got to tighten everything up, put gaskets on them, but that's pretty neat. What's in their fill kit? That way they can use this for the, hey, if you're too stupid to install valve covers, watch this other idiot install valve covers and see if you do it right. Feel free, Brian, to link me on the website. That Brian's got hose. Cool. Let's see. So, in case you're retarded, it appears I said retarded again. I think that's like 4 or 5 times. That goes there. That goes there. I actually don't know the purpose in the coupler. I don't know why this is in there. Maybe I am also retarded. But this would just go there. And that would go there. And then you would dump the oil in there. And then it would be in your engine and not in the bottle. Which is always a good idea. Anyway. That's all pretty neat stuff. It's actually not bad. I think it was like $5. I think it was an add-on of $5 retail. And the fitting is probably like $4. And the hose is like 50 cents on Amazon. And the funnel is another $2. So it's a pretty good deal, really. That fitting is worth $5. So that's it. That's everything that's in the box, guys. I'm going to go put it on the race car. I have to put valve cover gaskets on it. And valve cover gaskets. Really nice pieces. All right, we'll see. We'll get this done. The oil is already boiling, heating up for us. So do have some customer stuff to do. It's Saturday, Saturday the 25th. So much stuff still to do. Let's hope it all works out. I got the transmission tore down on the back. Not the transmission. There's a transmission in the car. The 8th mile setup's in the car right now. We're going to probably dyno it on that again. That way everything's apples to apples. We want to see how the solid roller did. A little nervous because I don't want to hurt it on the dyno a week before World Cup and have to put together the 388 and deal with all that crap since my spare heads are at Franz's right now getting looked at. One of them is still good. The other one I might have burned a hole in. Or actually my injectors. My injectors, not being tolerant of race car things, because you can't run 105 pounds of differential pressure, they got mad and they decided to stick closed on one cylinder and smoked a hole between two holes. Anyway, we're going to put these things on and get the trans ready, put the car on the dyno hopefully later, and blah, blah, blah. All right. See you guys in a little bit. We'll show you the finishing install of these.
Okay.
All right, guys. Quick moment of truth. We're gonna check fitment before we go any farther. BTR valve cover, and it does fit. I dig that. That is great. I was a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. Cool, and I actually really like how it sits. We're gonna go get these things dressed up, get these guys dressed up and ready to go, and then install them. Well, I guess it's not permanently because I might have to take them off and do valve lash later or something. So semi-permanently, right? All right, hit you guys back in a minute. All right, guys. Didn't have many concerns with these BTR valve covers, but I did have something when I opened the box that it was like, really, how's this work? You know, not really any issues, but there's a couple of really small holes for the baffle, and they weren't tapped. And I was like, man, do these need to be tapped? Did I get a blim? So basically, I'm talking about, see those holes right there? I've got this baffle that goes in there, and it comes with these screws. And so they're 1/4 inch head. So I already have one valve cover on the car, so I found this out before I ever decided to do this video. But, well, sorry for blinding you guys. But so here's the deal. Faces in this direction right here. That way it clears the rockers well. And the cool part is you start those bolts. And I'm sure that most likely Brian has a video out already on how to do this, and I'm just retarded and didn't check it. But they thread right in without an issue. Not so loose they're going to fall out, but not so tight that you question why that nobody tapped the holes. So tighten draw it up. And consistently tighten draw it up. So really neat valve cover gasket. So I'm so excited about this because I have been struggling so bad with the setup I had on the car. The valve cover gaskets I had to Permatex in because they were terrible, and I was always worried about them causing a fire. We only had one small fire on the car since it was an LS, and it was because the valve cover gasket blew out, just due to the nature of the gasket. It would have never done that on a Brian Tooley or a motion gasket, I can promise you that. Or a motion gasket, but a motion valve cover. Those have been the ones we've ran previously with no issues. But these gaskets have a really nice press fit. I won't say press, but they're made with one side like perforated so that they slide right in, and they have some friction to keep them there. So very, very nice pieces. I'm finishing installing this one here in a second, but just wanted to clear that up for you guys just in case anybody was worried when they opened the box. It's pretty awesome. So no complaints so far. All right, so valve covers are on. I am going to have to, this line actually worked fine. This line needs to be extended just a little bit. The baffles fit really well. So like the valve covers I used before were very hard to line up with the holes. I'd always have to take extra care to make sure that I got them lined up well. And these things I can put on in a hurry, which is a huge thing when you're doing race car stuff. They worked really well. I love the ARP bolts that I got with them. I am really, if this thing starts and and the rockers don't touch it, this is my favorite thing on the car that's not horsepower related. These valve covers are awesome. It's a lot like I said, I keep talking about BTR, but Brian Tooley Racing and Motion, because they are two companies that are like, okay, I'm a car guy. What would I make for a car guy? These are like, just like the Motion valve covers, there's so many awesome things about them. This is the same deal. These things are freaking awesome. No complaints, 0 complaints. Like nothing. Like these things are awesome. I can kiss Brian on the mouth and whoever designed these. Anyway, I'm gonna make this line, let the oil heat up, do a startup. If no noise, constant awesomeness. If there's a noise, I'm gonna find out where it's at and I'm gonna grind them because these things are so awesome. And plus, I installed them so I can't return them. So, hope you guys liked this unboxing / review of the BTR. These are the BTR no logo silver valve covers. I had to use them because we've got the Wilkes adjustable rockers on the car. These are M311 heads. absolutely complete 100% positive so far. Really, really happy with everything about them. So, until next time, guys, God bless you.